Well, I'll be damned. Some of you actually joined the Patreon. I am both shocked and astounded. I think they mean the same thing. Anyway, you're all amazing. If for some unexplainable reason you like my content and want to join the Patreon, it's £1 a month, you get the videos a week early, and your name will be at the end of the video. Besides that, thanks to these guys for the suggestion. Load up Sons of the Forest. Start a new game. Welcome back. We've done this before. It's a sequel. So you're on a helicopter looking for a family of rich people. I don't know if they actually are rich. They look rich, and their daughter is kind of bad. While looking at your Fight Demons tattoo, your helicopter gets shot out of the sky. Looks like you're going to be fighting some demons soon in hell, because you'll be dead. Somehow you survive the crash, but your teammate doesn't. After getting yourself out of the tree, you pass out only to wake up to a man wrapped in tinfoil pointing a gun at you. For some reason, he goes to shoot you, but in his head must be like, if I shoot this man now, the game will end, thus rendering my life over. And just hits you instead. Wake up for a second time, and Tinfoil Terry is gone, so pick up your survival equipment only to be used in emergencies. I'd say this is an emergency. Inside is an axe, a GPS, a lighter, and some survival equipment. Perfect for keeping your body from starvation, the cold, and other things. It looks like someone else survived too. This is Kelvin. During the crash, his ears were damaged, so he's deaf. But will do whatever you tell him to if you write it on this notepad. Let's go look around. While your original mission was to find some missing people, your new objective is... don't die. Your GPS is picking up various signals, but also while wandering around, you may stumble upon... oh. Well, this is horrifying. Inside this cave is general cave stuff, stalagmites, stalactites, a big facility with a 3D printer. Even further inside the facility is a door that requires a key card. I can't wait to Google the location of that when I can't find it after 20 hours. Well, despite the crash and Tinfoil Terry, this place is actually quite nice. You probably want to build a base to live, since it might be a while before help comes to get you. Perfect. Not really. While wrapping yourself in tinfoil like a roast chicken is a good way of saving your game, you want to make a tree house, because tree houses are cool. Not for any other reason that requires you to not be on the floor. Yeah, that's why. With the help of Kelvin, making the tree house is easy, and... Kelvin, what are you doing? Okay, I decided to make something on the floor. I'd like to see you destroy my base now, Kelvin. You might have realized while building that you're being watched by a half-naked woman with 3 arms and legs. Fear not, this is perfectly normal. I think. She's not like the rest of the golem-like creations that won't leave you alone. At first she gets scared whenever you go near her, but after watching you from a distance like some creepy stalker, she eventually just becomes your mate and starts giving you random shit she finds in the woods. With a base that would make even Minecraft Steve cream his pants, it's time to look for some better weapons, because while a stick with a bit of tape on it seems to work relatively well against the cannibals inhabiting this place, you know what works even better? The good old Second Amendment. The pistol can be found... yeah, it's in the ocean. Yeah, there are sharks. If you're like me and absolutely terrified of open water, I found a tactic that works quite well. Take your headphones off and close your eyes while you swim in a straight line to and from the life raft. In the spirit of getting enough firepower to atomically disassemble anything breathing too close to you, the GPS is good because it shows you the location of purple pings that mean dead guys, and caves because for some reason your GPS can pick up caves like someone shoved a 5G tower inside of it. The dead guys can have useful items like a flashlight and a bigger axe, but the caves... that's where the money's at. Let's start with this cave. I mean, what's the worst thing that you could find in here? Some bats? Yeah, it's not just cannibals you have to worry about. The caves are home to a lot of things, ranging from blind people to armless finger-mouth monsters. And it's up to you whether it's worth the risk going in to get whatever items are in there. Inside this one, you'll find some useful stuff like this sparky artifact and a stun gun, but most importantly, the location of the entertainment bunker and a rebreather used for breathing underwater. The game devs were even nice enough to put it next to a place where you can test it out. You can mostly go into any of the caves first, but it's a lucky dip on whether you get a few blind cave dwellers or a big thigh slapper, cheek clapper version 12 that wants to add your legs to its collection. It's a good job I'm here to tell you where to go, isn't it? Haha. You're probably gonna die. Next, go to the cave where this shit started. Kill more blind cave dwellers that seem to shrug off a spear through the face like they just fell into a pit filled with pillows. Use a grenade to unclog this meaty glob like it's your toilet after a Taco Bell, and go further into the cave. There's a lot of notes in these caves which detail the strange happenings that transpired here and basically expand the lore. Hank's shovel is missing? Oh no! Anyway, if you get past the threatening pogo babies and the Siamese crawlers, you'll eventually find the rope gun, good for placing ropes and traversing ropes Anything pertaining to ropes, really. Now it's time to sort out this game's greatest tragedy. Finding Hank's shovel. I'm not even joking. He left a note saying he gave it to some guy in this cave. You'll know you're in the right place when you find the 3 people who didn't like this video. That's not a threat. They just tripped. One of them has a slingshot, which you can take and never use, and if you go inside the cave, you'll see now why we went to get the rope gun and the rebreather first. They're like the bouncers of this cave. You're not getting in without them. The cave itself is pretty straightforward. There's some blind guys that are kind enough to drown themselves, but further in, you'll come across a big room with a flashing red light. Take this as a warning, because you're about to get jumped by the cheek clappers. If you manage to kill them along with the armless finger mouth monsters, you can actually harvest their meat and wrap it around yourself like a juicy set of armor. It's weird how you've been stuck on this island for less than 5 minutes and you're perfectly okay doing this. The flashing red light was actually the location of Maintenance Bunker A, aka the place you're gonna go next. But first, go through the rest of the cave and find the shovel. Mystery solved. Hank will be so happy. Dead as well, but happy. With the shovel, go to this purple ping, which I previously mentioned is dead, guys. Oh, he's really dead. Well, you're wearing mutant skin, so I guess grave robbing isn't the weirdest thing you've done today. Especially when you get a shotgun out of it. Now that you have a way to kill stuff without chucking a pointy stick at them, remember in the shovel tunnel I said, the flashing red light was actually the location of Maintenance Bunker A, aka the place you're gonna go next. That's where you're going next. It's been marked on your GPS, so go there, dig into the ground like it's your first night on Minecraft, find the hatch and climb down. I'm sure there's nothing big and mutated waiting for you in here. There's actually not, just some pogo babies. And what looks like some living quarters. Clearly this guy didn't get the memo. In return for making it this far, you're rewarded with a key card of a guy called Carl and the location of the food bunker. Just don't tell Kelvin about it. Those eyes hide an untamable hunger. The food bunker is where things get seriously jiggy with it. As you can imagine, there's food, but using Carl's keycard to go further in past the armless finger mouth monsters, your question of what happened to the rich guy and rich guy's wife is finally answered. They fell over. Then you find the location of the residential bunker and a keycard for Rich Guy's daughter, which, if you're a bit behind the curve, is tripod. Use the keycard to go through this door where you see him, Tinfoil Terry. Before you can ask him why he decided to use your head as a drum kit, Rich Guy and Rich Guy's wife crawl out of the water looking slightly mutated. Tinfoil Terry is like, see you later, alligator, while you're left to fight the mutation creations. Mystery solved. Rich Guy and his wife fucking dead, but you are not, so that's a win. On to bigger and better things. You did get the location of the residential bunker, but since it's equivalent to the route your parents took to school, it can wait. There's a few bunkers to hit first that are like how some of you view taking a shower. Optional. First is the entertainment bunker. You got the location of this from the first cave. It's not as optional as the rest, but inside you get a map of all the bunkers, a helpful item if you weren't sat here listening to a man tell you exactly what to do from the dark corners of his mum's basement. There's also a chainsaw and a convenient video explaining the lore of this game in the space of 30 seconds. There's a material on this island called Solophyte that has anti-aging properties and a cube that was built out of it that activates every so often to turn people young again. Big billionaire rich guy found out and was like, money! As you're leaving, you come across a guy who you may not recognize given his incredibly healthy hairline. It's Timmy! If you're confused, go watch this video. While you're there, subscribe. Since you've made it this far, I assume you're enjoying yourself. He's like, you need to leave. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. Do you think I'm here by choice? Next is Maintenance Bunker B. There's a compound bow in here, and Maintenance Bunker C that has a revolver. Going to these places requires a lot of traveling. There are golf carts that the devs added to help you get around easier, but they handle like a supermarket trolley, and should you attempt to go off-road to take a shortcut because it's faster, in case you forgot, this game's whole thing is scary caves are scary, not diving into bunkers like you've just started a new game on Fallout 4, which is why we're here, outside the biggest cave in the game. Not gonna lie, giving you directions through this is gonna be difficult, so I'm not going to. If you look around long enough and don't fall victim to the entire ecosystem that wants to host a funeral for you, you'll come across a fucking spaceship. That definitely wasn't on my bingo card. Inside is a suit of armor and another one of those sparky artifacts. I know becoming an alien knight wasn't in the job description, but you needed to beat the game. As you're leaving, you'll come across a mutant that honestly looks like it belongs on that fucking spaceship. Besides that, there's not much else in this cave. Only a rifle if you go through this entrance. Anyway, back to the non-optional stuff. I mean, you needed to go through this cave to get the armor, so I guess this wasn't optional, but it is what it is. The last location you got was the residential bunker back when Rich Guy and Rich Guy's wife had a little fall. You'll know you're in the right place when you see the one guy who didn't subscribe. That's not a threat, they just tripped. again. The bunker's hidden in this cave and is unlocked with Tripod's keycard. You might be thinking, that's weird, I can hear gunshots. Yeah, that's just from Timmy fighting for his life against this slob that spits out pogo babies. Straight away, you're like, let me help you with that. With that axe I got from the emergency kit at the start of the game. Seriously, out of all the weapons you've stuffed in your back pocket. Obviously, this doesn't work, but it's all good because Timmy's dad, aka guy you play as in the forest, is like, let daddy handle this. But then, Tinfoil Terry shoots him saying, I see you enjoyed that trip to Turkey, Timmy. Before you get smothered by the slob. I don't know what happened while you were passed out. Maybe the slob did unspeakable things to you, but when you wake up, everyone's gone and the slob is dead. Getting smothered by slobs aside, I didn't just bring you here for that cutscene. There's shit you need to get in this bunker. You can fulfill your dreams of becoming a samurai with this katana. Highly recommended, since it's the most overpowered weapon in the game. Then you get the location of the luxury bunker, and Timmy's locked in a room. You can leave him in there if you want, but you might struggle to beat the game. With that, there's just one more thing you need to do before we get to the meat and potatoes of this adventure. This cave here is home to a pickaxe. Using it, you can collect solophyte. Now let's go to the luxury bunker. You'll know you're in the right place when you see the one guy who didn't join the Patreon. That's not a threat. They just... well, it looks like he's dead. Inside the luxury bunker, you find all things luxurious, like blood and dead guys and grenades. There's also rich guy's will, basically saying he leaves 800 billion pounderoonies for Tripod. I'll just keep hold of that. Yep. Could be useful. Eventually, you find a hole in the wall which leads to a cave, and Timmy is trying to open this door. He's like, there has to be a way to open this. Yeah, I wonder. So that alien armor you picked up is used as a key for the door, but needs to be upgraded first. That's what this blueprint's for. So run back to the surface and build the armor upgradeatron. I hope you listened when I told you to collect some solophyte. It's also a good idea to create a little wall around this thing, because it's like a mutant mating call. When you turn it on, it turns them on too. Anyway, you basically have to defend it. A good idea is to give Tripod the shotgun and the pistol for maximum three-handed value. When it's done, you can go and open the door and follow Timmy deeper into the cave that has lava and death all around you. Do I look like I'm carrying a ring? Because it feels like I'm running into fucking Mordor. There's more of those alien mutants, and after murdering them, a big one crawls out the lava and sends Timmy first-class delivery to the other side of the planet, leaving you to deal with it by yourself. It's at this moment where I just think, I wonder what Kelvin is up to. After you've turned 90% of its body into revolver bullets, it dies. Then you go to Timmy, who's found the cube. Things get a little bit strange here, so let me fill you in. You both step into the cube, and the door shuts, but somehow Tripod and fucking Kelvin are here. Tinfoil Terry's here too, but he's too slow. Anyway, the cube activates. Timmy's like, oh, my brainicles. And things get ethereal, like you've overdosed on some mushrooms you found in the forest. Then the door opens to reveal a golden city. There's a lot of ghosts. Kelvin, understandably mortified. Tripod, dead. Nah, she's not. Just having a little nap before things go back to normal. Yep. Things are perfectly normal. So Timmy was trying to find this place because it's supposed to stop his mutations. Spoiler, it didn't. Then it cuts to you both getting picked up by a helicopter, but mutated Tinfoil Terry has a few questions before you go. Mostly just about what was in the cube, and I think you have a pretty solid response. He dies and the helicopter comes back to get you. Timmy's dad's on board. He's still alive after getting shot. I don't know how, but yeah. Suddenly there's an army of mutants trying to attack the helicopters, and the sparky artifact that I didn't get all the pieces from comes out of your bag. You're given the option to either follow it or escape, and I'm getting kind of tired of seeing things with more than a normal set of limbs, so let's just leave. That includes Tripod. Oh shit, wait, where's Kelvin? Oh, there he is. Sometime after, you're with Timmy at the doctor's because the cube seems to have done the opposite of what he wanted, and Kelvin's injuries have left him with a child's mind. Tripod is taken for surgery, I'm guessing to deal with the extra limbs. 5 months later, you and Tripod are on a road trip in a fancy as fuck car. I wonder how you paid for that. Tripod's also heavily pregnant. You really couldn't wait 2 minutes after the surgery to secure her dad's will, could you?